Howdy rehabbies. Well, today is the 6th of November and that is the day that I've been 4 months sober. Hey. Now, how am I? Well, before I say that, let's just take a quick trip back to this time last month and see what I said after 3 months. But I can honestly report that 3 months in, my general health has hardly ever been worse in my life. Today, I've started to feel a lot more positive and a lot better. So in general, yeah, this last couple of days I'm feeling better, and that's the only reason I'm talking to you now. And well, I can say that from that day onwards, I continued to improve slowly. That point where I said, oh, in the last couple of days, blah, 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 was actually a milestone point. Because, well, from that day forward, I'd reached a milestone point when I said, for the last couple of days, blah, blah, blah. Because from that point onwards, I continued to improve slowly. And it had taken the best part of 3 months of feeling really sick, for more than one reason. I'd had COVID as well, but it had taken that length of time to start to see any benefits from this abstinence. And that's despite the online site saying, oh, within a week you'll be fighting fit and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So what's improved then? Well, for a start, for the last month, knock on wood, and it's going to be knock on wood for all of these things, I'm afraid. For the last month, I've had no gout outbreaks at all. Not one. And what I'm doing now, I'm managing to exercise every day, and the amount of exercise that I'm doing is slowly ramping up to what I was capable of doing before, which isn't excessive by anyone's standards, but for a guy in his mid-70s, it ain't bad. The minimum I do is a mile, and that's like on my day off, you know. Most days I would do 2 miles, 3 miles, and once I've even managed again for the first time in 3 months to go all the way around Bangwad Lake, which is 4 miles. So that is definitely a huge improvement, and you know, and it's showing. Also a huge improvement is my energy levels are now creeping up again slowly, and my will to actually do anything apart from lay on the sofa here and sleep. That's all I was doing for, you know, 2.5 months after quitting boozing. And those that follow my videos would have noticed that they're now becoming more frequent again. I'm having ideas of what I can do to make videos, and here it's rather restrictive because most of my interests aren't in this country, I must be honest. But I am coming up with ideas to make videos again, and I'm, you know, improving the house again by getting things fixed and, you know, buying little knickknacks and God knows what else. And my sleep is now really improved. Before, it took a long time to get out of the old drunken sleep process where I'd sleep really, really shallowly and restlessly all night, wake up anywhere between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m., depending on some unknown factor, and be absolutely ready for bed by 9 o'clock in the evening. Nowadays, I stay up until midnight, I go to bed, and in short order, I'm asleep, and I might have to get up a couple of times during the night for old man's business in the toilet. But when I go back to bed again, I go to sleep again almost immediately. And when I'm sleeping, I'm going into REM sleep because I'm having lots of really, vivid dreams. I'm not saying they're nice dreams. A lot of my dreams are not, but they are vivid. I really don't care about the content of the dreams as long as I'm having them, because that proves that I'm getting the right kind of sleep. Before, I would just sleep fitfully. I wouldn't really remember anything about what I was dreaming. But also, I used to have a lot of sleep apnea effects, where I'd have night terrors where you wake up and you think you can see people in the room and whatever, and then bang, you come fully awake. I've suffered from those ever since I was 20 odd, but they went away largely, and then the age of between 40 and 50 they came back again. But now they've disappeared. Well, actually they've almost disappeared, because funnily enough, about a week ago I had another one. It wasn't one of the night terrors, but it was a real sleep apnea where I'd stopped breathing during the night and woke up thinking I was dying. It's a horrendous thing, and I used to suffer from that all the time. I think it was down to I was going through particular stress at the time as to whether I was going to get my visa renewed. I covered it in another video. But anyway, that is 99% gone away now. What other? My weight? Right. I started off, my estimate when I started, because I didn't weigh myself, was 180 pounds. I'm very au fait with the look of my screwed up body and what it's like. And I reckon I started off at 180. I was really overweight again, because when I drink, the weight goes on really, really quick. It came down reasonably quickly to 170, and then it stopped. I plateaued at about 165. So I was having devil's only jobs shifting it from there. But now, for this last week and a half or so, I've cut out the pastries and things. I used to like to treat myself with a scone and jam in the afternoon, or a cake with some custard in the evening. But I thought that might be holding my weight up, so I weighed myself yesterday and I was down to right on 160 on the dot. So overall, this last month, I've lost about 5 pounds, which is okay. If you lost 5 pounds every month, you'd be 60 pounds lighter at the end of the year. That's, you can't lose healthily any more than that. So I'll just monitor it and see if it continues to go down, because I am looking a lot better, but, if I say so myself, but there's still a ways to go. I'm still too heavy. I need to get down really to about 140, whether I'll be able to with my 70-odd-year-old metabolism is another matter. So one more thing, blood pressure. Yes, one of the banes of a lot of heavy drinkers' life is high blood pressure, and I've suffered with high blood pressure most of my life, and I take it regularly, and I'm under medication for it, but I couldn't get it to shift much, below about 140 over something or other. One thing I noticed as the time went on is it gradually started to creep down, and my diastolic, I've got a diastolic, that's the small number at the end, that is now, you know, 100% below the 80, so it's always low. And the systolic, the first number, has crept down mostly now. When I just take one measurement, and mostly now it's in the 120s. So for someone my age, that's good. And that also helps me a lot, because if I go to the hospital or go to the dentist, they're fixated on blood pressure in this blooming country. So if I rock up there wanting a tooth fix and I've got, you know, 160/90 blood pressure, they won't do anything, which is what it used to be. So big improvement there. So let's hope that, I monitor it every day, so let's hope that goes down. So that's about it really. That's my 4 months report, and very pleased that some improvements have been made. So let's see what the next month brings. I'm not going to weigh myself now until 5 months. I'm not going to bugger about weighing myself every week. It gets demotivating, you know. So we'll see how we go. And thanks for tuning in. Cheerio.